Hi, my name is Roger from Vector Studios, and today is Guitar 101. Today is the day when you begin your first guitar lesson. Now, you might not be able to play like that right off the bat, but one thing is sure, within 30 days, if you practice, do the lessons, you're going to start sounding pretty good. I equate playing guitar or learning how to play guitar to maybe learning how to type. They're both about as difficult. Now you can say, well, in a couple of weeks I could probably learn how to type without looking at the keys. Well, sure, you can type 25 or 30 words a minute. You can also say, well, in a couple, 3 weeks, I could probably learn how to play guitar, and you could probably do a couple of chords. But what about doing a little more difficult things like playing melodies with chords? So it's a little more difficult when you get into the little more higher echelon of your very first chords. Which chords will be the easiest to hit? Well, let's start off with probably the easiest chord to make, and that's a G chord. And when I say fretted note, I mean that's you putting your finger on the string at that particular fret. That's called a fretted note. And when you strike a string that doesn't have any fingers on it, like so, all of those are unfretted notes because you're not putting your finger down on any fret. Where do you put your finger on the fret is very important. Now, you don't put it right in between the frets. You put it right up against the fret, like so. Because if you put it back here, it's liable to rattle on the note like that, and it's rattling against that fret right there. Okay? So you put your finger directly behind that fret anytime that you're trying to fret a chord. Now, what about the easiest chord there is to hit? There was a lot of different chords, but there are some chords that are much easier than the others. One of the easiest chords to hit is a G chord. Now, you can do it the, we'll say, cheater way, or the, we'll say, country type way if you want. And that's by placing your thumb at the 3rd fret on the top string, which is your number 6 string, and your middle finger on that same fret on the very bottom string. And this is a G chord. Now you let your thumb right here kind of mute the string below it, because if you don't, it sounds like this. Not too good. So if you just let your thumb mute that string, there's a G chord. Now, the more, we'll say, accepted way of hitting a G chord is with these fingers. That's your 3rd finger and your 4th finger together like this. Now a G bar chord is where you use all of your fingers like so. That sounds a little better, a little more full. But once again, it's a little more difficult to get all of these fingers on that G notes, or on the correct notes, excuse me, on the correct notes, like so. Because sometimes, if you don't arch your fingers just right, it does mute out some of the different tones from some of the other strings. So you have to do it just right. So it's much easier to hit it like so. You can take your 4th finger, put it on the top string, and your little finger, if you like, and put it on your 1st string, at the 3rd fret. Sounds like that. That's a G chord.